Hey Virgo, it's Empress Rose here, and welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so take what works, leave what doesn't. If I don't catch your energy wave or your storyline, feel free to check your other major placements. So that's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, generally. Also, I do personal readings, so just contact me at the email below, empressrose1111@gmail.com, and we can set something up for you if that's what you like. So all these have been pre-shuffled, and we're starting with the Oracle Mystical Moments deck for an intuitive vibe of where we're going. We are so grateful for the accurate message we are about to receive. For Virgo, what's the most useful message for Virgo right now? What does Virgo need to know? What does Virgo need to know? Oh. Okay. All right. We have a night ride, so this is going through maybe a dark and confusing time. Could be externally, could be internally. I get an internal vibe right now off of this. There's so much loyalty and memory, and there's a very strong, loyal presence in your life right now that's with you through this journey. You can identify as any of these three characters here, but you know, the owl, this is sort of a team effort maybe. The owl has vision and can see at night, and the elephant has this large protective presence. And they're headed through this swamp, this confusing, man, nothing seems very clear right here, but there's a real sense of protection, a real sense of companionship and protection. You are somehow being guided through this night, and you might be a little afraid, actually, a little worried. Yeah, this is very new to you. I'm not even sure you're comfortable with these owls being on your back. I'm seeing you as this elephant here. I think you're just having to go by someone else. This owl protecting another owl is also guiding you, is being your guide through the swamp. This card is feeling so different to me on this reading. Like normally, you know, this elephant's like this guiding presence, but in its eye, I'm just seeing some fear, some wildness, a little bit of like what is going on. Everything feels uncomfortable. Everything feels very weird. But we have this owl as a guide, and this owl is just by nature very protective, and is protecting you. It's so reversed than from how I usually read this card. I think you're the elephant. I think you're a little scared. But you have companionship, and you have someone here protecting you and guiding you, going to help you through this. And then we have this treasured memories here. I love this card so much. Maybe memories of a wilder time, memories of a happier time. You're not letting go of these memories anytime soon. They're up here. And normally, and it's you're holding on to it. Normally our thoughts come and go like clouds through our mind. You know, this whole sky could be her mind. There's a really cool meditation, if you ever find it, about the brain, the mind, just limitless mind, as large as the sky. And normally we let the clouds come through, and our thoughts kind of come through, and they come and go, and maybe rain a little bit or cast a shadow. But this thought's not coming and going. This thought's there. This thought's being held in place. This memory, this treasured memory, is being held strongly, carefully, closely in place. It is not passing through. It's there. It's lodged. And then we have Queen Bee. So this card is very fascinating to me because it it has several different, it's just so layered. It's layered like her skirt. So a queen bee, you know, life, there's this essentialness of life, of being, sort of mating these flowers. This is her job, is to mate these two flowers, this queen bee. But the bee can have a stinger, so there can be some sharpness here, some pain involved. But it's also a bringing of two things together, bringing of two, or a mating vibe. Like she is the mating, and these flowers are here to be cross-pollinated, and this is what she's doing. This is some sort of presence. Maybe a matchmaker here, bringing, you know, these birds and bees, these two bees together, bringing these flowers. And these flowers aren't this flower shows up several times in this deck, and it's not the big showy thing. It's the, like, there has to be some curiosity, there has to be some work, some effort. The bee, it's not just sitting here like, hey, and any old bee can come by. So I think that's why she's helping. There's someone. So I'm seeing a lot of helping presence here. There's someone helping this process along of matchmaking. I've never gotten that message from that card before. I usually see like, and there's like a female character that looms large in your life. Maybe a female with a little bit of a stinger on her, a little bit of a sting to her, who can hurt as well as bring life. But right now I'm seeing a life giver. I'm seeing but there could be some pain involved in this process. But there's someone here bringing two things together. The cross-pollination of something that's just not obvious. It's like bringing two ideas together, bringing two people together. It's not an obvious match. But there's some presence is here bringing these things together. All right, we're going to move to Moonology. It's a very strange reading so far. With things just getting flipped. The way I see the cards, just a little bit of a reversal here. All right, Moonology, what do we have for our dear, amazing, lovely Virgos? All right, we have two cards. We have Gibbous Moon. You're very close to achieving your goal. So this is, you're on the right track. You're headed there. And the universe just has to take care of a few more things for you. And whatever it is that you're trying to bring together or get through here, you're going to do it. You're going to make it. Expect powerful change. I love this card. Powerful change can be really scary. Maybe that's why you seem so afraid in this swamp, in this night right now. Normally I see the elephant as guiding and ferrying these owls through, but I see the owl this time as guiding this elephant, and I expect powerful change. I mean, it can be very scary. I find it exciting and thrilling, and it's also terrifying, and that's all kind of part of some sort of adrenaline response, I guess, or you know, all of those emotions having a flip side of a coin, the fear and excitement, and sometimes having it be difficult to tell the difference. But expect powerful change. So something's coming. It's big, it's powerful, it's gonna rock your world. You might be a little scared about it. Okay, and you're close to achieving your goal, so good job. All right, so I've moved on to this deck, that Ethereal Visions, yes. The Santa Muerta deck just was tired and just was very clear about that, so we've moved on to this Ethereal Visions card. It's kind of basic, but the messages are clear. It's very much in line with the Rider-Waite deck. There aren't any alternate alternative interpretation. So Virgo, this is your past, this is your present, so your inner landscape, this is what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. So we have pretty well balanced set here. In your recent past, you have the Seven of Swords. This is sort of, this is sneaking. Who was sneaking? Was you sneaking? Were they sneaking? Somebody, it was very clever though, or it seemed very clever at the time. There's a very clever kind of sneaking away here. Not taking of the truth, not communicating and not allowing communication to happen as a way of protection. So, you know, all's fair in love and war, and you went in and stole a bunch of swords, a bunch of truths, a bunch of communication, so that nobody could fight anymore, and nobody could work this out. So you have all the swords here from the battle. You felt very clever about this. Is this you or is this somebody else? I feel like it's you, but it could be somebody else who kind of shut down the battle, shut down the war, and just took the swords and ran off with them and said, ha ha ha, have fun having your battle without any truth, without any communication, without anything going on here. And honestly, your readings for the last couple of weeks have been not communicating. So it seems like maybe this was a strategy to not communicate, because the swords are communication and truth. And so someone was sneaky, and someone kind of shut down the battle by removing themselves and removing the weapons from the battle for whatever those weapons were being used for. So there was some conflict, and it was resolved by just shutting it down and taking it away. And all right, and then in your present situation, you have this Queen of Swords. You have somebody who's staying in their truth. And honestly, the Queen of Swords could be this queen bee with this stinger. She's got this sword. This is her stinger. So there's someone so the Queen of Swords can go, well, she's a little bit, this Queen of Swords to me reads as being someone is very much in their truth and is very clear on what they think and what they believe. And they're very focused on standing their ground, being clear about who they are and what so this can come off as being a little sharpish and a little aggressive. So there might be a female presence in your life, could be you, could be someone else who's a little overly aggressive, but this is just a matter of fact of being very focused on your truth and very focused on who you are, on how you are, on what you wanted. So and holding that and being honest about what you want. So there's a person, it could be you in this position, this present position. There's a vibe or a person or you, we're not very clear in this position, that is very clear on what they want, what they think, where they are, and what's true for them, and understanding that. This is a powerful place to be. The King of Swords is about seeing everybody's truth and kind of bringing it together. This is about being in your truth, or somebody here is very clear on their ground. I mean, I don't know if you can see it. These cards are very faint, but she's staring at the ground and she's staring at her own sword. So, so she's very clear on what she wants, and it could be any gender. Gender's not tremendously important here, but I'm just going to use female pronouns. So, but she's very clear on what she wants, very clear on what she believes, and is capable of some very clear communication, even though in the recent past, somebody here took all the communication away and ended any kind of, I want to say, parlay, any kind of interaction, because they took it all away, but someone's got it back. They got their truth back. They're back in their truth, in their what they see, what they know to be true. Your inner landscape is this Three of Cups. So this is this getting together, communing with friends, so it's in your inner landscape. So you have this emotional sharing that you want to have happen. You have a fullness of emotion. You have a vision, a dream of sharing these emotions. Well, then why did you take all the swords? Or who took these swords? Anyway, doesn't matter anymore who took the swords. That's in the past. But this is about a sort of dreaming of being with friends, and they're together, and they're drinking wine, and they're singing together. There's some singing here. It's very beautiful. But they're very much in touch with their feelings and communication. So this is about communication among friends, and some singing and some, You're bound to these friends. So that's your inner landscape. That's what's going on inside. That's what you're feeling. You're feeling bound to these friends, and there's some sort of singing vibe going on, a very emotional sharing. We have a little mini choir here, and this is in your inner landscape, which is interesting because it's about friendship. So are you making friends with yourself, with different parts of yourself, perhaps? Perhaps you're making friends with different parts of yourself and appreciating different emotions of yourself. Because it's generally a very positive card, but it has to do with communing generally with other people. So but maybe this is you, yourself, and you. Me, myself, and I, and you're enjoying yourself, and you're in harmony. You're becoming more in harmony with yourself and with your own feelings. There's a harmonizing going on here. And that's what's going on inside, which is very beautiful. And then you have, at issue is Queen of Cups. So you have someone in your life that's very emotional, and this could be you. This is a not sharing of the emotions. This is a not, so we're taking it in the reverse. This is sort of some manipulation, which is also getting me into this Queen Bee vibe. And if we're taking this in line with this, with an alternate meaning of the Queen of Swords as being a little bit stingy and a little bit bitchy, this could be emotional manipulation. Someone being emotionally manipulative, or using their emotions in a very bad way, not offering freely out of a level of maturity their own feelings and their own emotions, which is normally the Queen of Cups is going to be in understanding her emotions, feeling her emotions. So maybe you're not understanding emotions, you're not understanding your emotions, or somebody in the situation isn't very clear on their emotions. So they're either using their emotions inexpertly and unfortunately to manipulate and control, or there's somebody here that's just not the issue. What's at issue right here is that somebody is not feeling their emotions, is not understanding their emotions, is not having clarity about their emotions. Because the Queen of Cups should be bringing some expertise, some clarity, some clear, loving emotions, and we're not having that. So we're either lacking clarity, or we're having clarity, but the emotions are being used in a really messed up way. So there's something about what's at issue has to do with an emotional offering that's not being offered, that's being withheld, withholding emotions. Could this be? This could be withholding emotions. This could be withholding an emotional communication. This could be withholding emotions. So we have several possibilities. We have manipulating, we have withholding, and we have not understanding emotions. So all of those, honestly, because withholding and manipulating all, to me, go along with an inexpert understanding of emotions and of feelings, and not really understanding what they're there for and how to use them, or not maturely not maturely dealing with emotions, not the way a queen would. So anyway, so we're moving on to the environment, the Chariot. This is very fast movement. very fast, balanced movement, very successful. So there's a lot of success going on, a lot of winningness in your environment. So movement, there can be physical movement or just the movement of a situation, or maybe things in your life are moving very fast right now and very quickly, unexpectedly perhaps, and almost magically. This card has a very magical movement vibe. So things are moving very fast, very successfully in the direction that you'd like. So that's what's going on in your environment. And that can be work, relationships, whatever. I guess I've been getting a relationship vibe off of this because of the treasured memories, but this could all be very much work related as well. So, or, you know, whatever part of your life this is really resonating, you will know at this point in the reading, you'll have identified all the characters and you'll know what's going on. So in your life right now, in your environment, there's a lot of moving forward, success, almost magical seeming results, just things coming in that seem to be working out really well. So in your to-do list is this 9 of Pentacles. So this 9 of Pentacles is about, it's time to level up. These grapes are ripe. Put in a shit ton of work here on these grapes. They are ripe. They are ready to be plucked, and they're ready to be stomped into juice. So this growing of the grapes is only one part of a longer process, but it does take quite a bit of work as a farmer, as a former farmer. It takes quite a bit of work to get these grapes to this part. So we're talking a multi-year process involving a lot of work, a lot of labor, and it's time to harvest this. You're having a harvest moment. Well, the harvest is just one part of the winemaking that we see in this 3 of Cups, this wine, and this Queen of Cups here. So it's just one part of the process that is eventually going to be filling our cups. But it's time to level up. It's time to bring in the fruits of your labor. You worked hard. It's yours. And there is, yeah. Yep. You worked hard. They're yours. They're yours to take. And then this brings us to the possible outcome is the Empress. I'm crazy about this card, of course, being Empress Rose, but still it's beautiful. So this is just the Earth Goddess. This is having everything you need. This is nurturing. This is life. This is bringing the ability to bring things into life, the ability to, and this is our happy single, happy alone. And the 9 of Pentacles is typically a single card too. So there's that if you're needing that information. But this is a contentedness, a peace with what we have and what's ours, and having everything you need. This is all the queens together. We had the Queen of Swords here, and we have the Queen of Cups. So yeah, add in the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands, and you've got an Empress with everything she needs, the full meal deal. Everything, the pomegranates, life. So this is where you're headed, into this sort of self-actualized, self-loving, self-nurturing vibe here, where you do have everything you need. So, all right, so we're expecting some powerful changes. We're moving up. We're gonna come into some harvesting here. We've got this Chariot. You're very close to your goal. It's time to harvest. So I hope you have a safe journey this week. And yep, thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. I really appreciate it. Not only is it encouraging for me, but it also allows more people to find the channel and find these messages and find useful messages for them. So thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful week.